It's
Which
the
one?
situation
Hate it.
with the New Day.
Mm.
I
So
didn't.
just to catch anybody up to speed. And I guess we got to take it back a couple weeks. You see, brother Xavier Woods, he looked pissed off right there, don't he?
Mm.
For a minute, Karrion Kross been messing with him. I don't know if he's trying to recruit him to be a part of the final testament or what, but he been like trying to point out how his situation ain't really moving. He went to the length where he took out Kofi Kingston. He injured that man's arm and he was gone for a minute. X couldn't take care of himself, so when he came back, Kofi said, "Look, I was rehabbing. I was in the PC. It's a big nigga down there named Odyssey Jones. He could be who we could use." Brought him up immediately. I don't know what it is about Odyssey Jones, but immediately Xavier Woods is like, "Nah, get it."
No,
I don't want to say get him away from me, but like like if Odyssey Jones touch him on the shoulder, I feel like Woods would be like. But the problem is, talk to him, fam. The problem is, it's not. So I want to be clear. This is not Karrion Kross somehow like getting into Xavier Woods' head. This is. I'm sorry, Kofi. This is Kofi Kingston making decisions for the squad on his own, and X being out there like, wait, who the fuck is Odyssey Jones? Why do we need help? You gonna talk to? You gonna talk to me? Look at his face. You gonna talk to me before you say, "Hey, we gonna make this a 6-man instead of a tag team match"? And then I don't know if people saw. Shouts out to the Patreon on Raw Talk after the show. They did a whole segment with the three of them backstage, and Kofi's like, "Nah, I know Odyssey. When I was rehabbing,
these niggas.
Facts. He was in the PC. Yeah, we was working. Blah blah blah. X is saying, who is these? They have the 6-man match scheduled for Raw. Is this the beginning of the end for the New Day?
If it is, I'm not mad at it. I know we wanted a certain type of ending. We sometimes can fantasy book how we want things to end.
Mm.
But the reality is these two gentlemen still need to keep their careers going, and they still want to have fresh stories and still be in consideration. It's unfortunate what has happened with Big E.
Yes.
Because Big E, and this is just me thinking, right? I love Xavier and I love Kofi, but Big E was very much the glue, in my opinion, that catapulted a lot of their presence. And when you have him gone, you notice a difference. And the booking ain't been booking. I can't book. And all good things must come to an end.
Damn, DDM.
They'll go in the Hall of Fame. They'll reunite and they'll have their moment, and we'll buy the merch and it'll be fun. But even it was so interesting being at Monday Night Raw, in Baltimore where we was going off. I was in the crowd, and people were saying in the crowd, and these are black people. I want to be clear because Baltimore is a black city. These are black people saying, yeah, they need to go here and wrap that shit up. That shit tied now. It's old. It's late.
I think they've peaked. They've been peaked. I feel like we had this conversation on the Buckle where we said they've done everything. And at this point, I honestly feel like this breakup is not going to really make a difference. It's just going to just be a breakup. I don't think them breaking up is going to do anything for their respective careers. And that's what bothers me. I would have rathered, we know that they peaked. We know what it is. But they just like
They just go on their own.
Puddle, in the back and, do this and do that and not
We should try this separately, bro.
I mean,
to be fair, And that's a very, especially knowing the history of WWE, that's a very good point. But also too, out of all three, Xavier the only has Xavier ever had a singles title?
No, that was the thing I was saying on the Patreon the other day. The potential, really, the most potential, like right now, assuming that the split is Xavier on one side, Kofi and Odyssey Jones on the other side. Like Xavier Woods, low key has the most potential because like he's never been a world champ out of the three New Day. He's never been a world champion except for Brother Math. People really didn't see him in a certain light. It's no disrespect, but I mean, like when you've got Kofi and you got Big E, Xavier was always looked at.
The nigga with the horn.
But he was the guy with all the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
The only king of the ring, that's facts. But I mean, what happened to that crown? Mimi, did Roman stomp on that crown? He wanted that crown.
He put on his head and then
he put it on his head.
On it. Yeah. Sorry, bastard.
If they're
sorry bastard that night too.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we could potentially see Xavier Woods as a world champion. There's a lot of possibility with I've never really been able to move on my own in the WWE universe. Xavier Woods charting on his own right now.
But I think he has though. But it's just on a different. I think they've each had their individual successes, but his has been external, in my opinion.
I think I will say he gets props because, and I feel like fan bring this up a lot. Like New Day is him. The idea of the spectrum of what it means to be black in pro wrestling. A lot of that comes from the New Day being able to be black nerds on TV, and a lot of that comes from Xavier Woods being who he is. So right. There's a lot of credit that's due.
Yep.
But I think the progression of Woods has only been in character. It's really not been in wins and losses, and aside from tag team wins, he's not really had a lot of single success. If they wanted to tell a story of Woods trying to figure himself out as a singles wrestler, the rest of the year is the time if they're trying to split them up.
I still don't think he's gonna be a singles wrestler.
What does he do? You think he's gonna be a part of the Final Testament?
I think with me it was 1,000% accurate. I don't see nothing coming of this, but what happens if Odyssey Jones turns on Kofi Kingston?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I had that thought the other day.
And it's Xavier Woods and Odyssey Jones
fighting.
No,
okay,
as a squad.
Or what if he's Xavier Woods is saying the "I told you so"?
Well, yeah,
I told you this nigga was nothing. You don't even know this nigga. You will bring him in.
Nigga.
You thinking the Xavier as the HBK and Odyssey as a Diesel or something like that? Paul.
Allegedly,
something like that. Some type of
they
little man, big man situation.
And they're gonna end up, we fantasy booking, cuz nigga, just stay back there.
Yeah, we chatting like a motherfucker. But I think the thing is we've been watching TV. I don't think we should be sold on Odyssey Jones being.
That's not the New Day.
Anything. Odyssey as an op is funny
because they going like you put him in the place where he's only going to be the Big E. Like you're comparing them 1-to-1 with Big E. It's not going to happen.
Damn. It's an interesting situation.
I don't know how this is going to pan out. I know that they need something because it's stale. And stale is stale. As much as we may love you, it's stale.
Facts.
Yeah.
You can't eat the stale bread with the sandwich.
You can't.
When you got people in the audience saying things like that, It's like, and one could argue, where's the storyline? They need a story, but
They need a story.
you know, maybe this is a story because you
Yes.
don't have E there to be get loud and do everything that he is so good at doing. And quite frankly, this is going to sound crazy, but how long has their run been?
The New Day? Shit, that's a great question. Hold up.
10 years.
What's the official day? It may already pass. New Day formed original run July 21st, 2014. So it's actually been
It's
a
been a
little it's been 10 plus years. 10 years and a little bit of change.
in on television. Um, that's pretty long, right?
That's
That
phenomenal.
is to be a 3-person squad not breaking up for 10
Black.
years. Black for 10 years in this, yeah. Not even this era in general, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a feat. Maybe it's the time. I
We
I
have
have
to think about. It's like the finale of MASH, right?
It's so
I love them.
Yeah, it's like
They went home.
yeah, that last episode of MASH or the last episode of Martin or something like that. But also too, we got to make room for
And
know,
I'll take
Take with
with
me.
me the memory. I can't hit them notes.
Neither can he.
Neither can he. Yeah, stop.
I mean, and who's to say they won't honor the decade, right? Like they may get a thing. I don't know, but you have other people, other places, and we have a plethora of new talent that's coming. Not saying that they shouldn't be
Pour
paid
one out.
directly.
Pour a
And
little
then
liquor.
also, too, we don't know if this is something that they pitched to creative.
We pour one out for the day.
You know,
Effects.
maybe they could have pitched this themselves to creative and said, "Hey,
They don't know what they're doing. Can't
They don't
you
know what
see?
they're doing.
Look at them. They're in
Can't you
shambles.
see you and me watching wrestling on TV? They don't know what they doing, baby. Not with niggas, can't you see? No, I mean at the end of the day. Also too,
Also,
they don't know what they you still don't have no black people up in the Yamin, so
I mean, yeah. What's going on with Carmelo Hayes?
Carmelo Hayes lost to Andrade, who then had a number one contenders match for was it the undisputed title this past week. So he's a notch below. He's probably 4 or 5 in the singles competition. He wrestle. He just lose all the time.
he just don't win. He don't lose. He just don't win.
He just don't win. I guess we'll see this Monday.
I don't like it.
It's Kofi. It's the New Day and Odyssey Jones versus 3 motherfuckers from Final Testament. I'm assuming Karrion Kross and the Yamins. So